In this video, we will discuss some intelligent and practical ways to store different food items in the kitchen so that they remain naturally fresh and tasty for a long time. If you have a small fridge or you find it difficult to organize your fridge, then this video will be helpful for you. So without any further delay, let's get started. Hello friends, welcome to Fit Repeat. Surprisingly, there are some food items that do not need to be kept in the fridge. This can be a game changer, not only for someone who has a small fridge, but also if you want to bring back the flavor in your food. First of all, there are spices. How many times do we open the spice packet and throw it in the fridge? Humidity is the #1 enemy of spices, which not only changes their texture, but also robs them of flavor. Spices should not be kept in the fridge. They will serve you best if kept in an airtight container in a cupboard where the environment is dark and dry. Airtight keeping is essential if you want them to stay fresh for at least 6 months. Pickles and sauces, because they contain natural preservatives. Add text, oil, salt, vinegar, lemon juice, turmeric. They stay tastier the most when kept out of the fridge. Then many of us keep nuts and seeds in the fridge. This is unnecessary. Air is the #1 enemy of any dry fruit's shelf life. The solution is to keep them in an airtight container, where they will easily last up to a year under the right conditions. If you store nuts in non-airtight containers in the fridge or elsewhere, you are ruining their overall texture and taste. Mustard oil, coconut oil, groundnut oil, and even ghee do not need to be kept in the fridge. They are better kept in dark and dry places. Oils, being reactive, store best in glass bottles or containers rather than plastic or metal containers. In reality, Ayurvedic scriptures suggest that if stored properly in airtight glass, ceramic, or earthen containers, they become more medicinal over time. The potatoes, onions, and garlic that top most people's grocery lists prefer room temperature. Cold temperatures break down the starch in potatoes, making them unpleasantly sweet. The humidity of the refrigerator makes onions moldy and mushy. Garlic also cannot tolerate cold temperatures. To maintain their powerful flavor, keep them in a ventilated place outside the fridge. Citrus fruits like lemons and oranges stay fresh and juicy for longer when kept out of the fridge. In reality, ask your grandmother and she will tell you that wrapping lemons in newspaper or a paper bag helps preserve them for a long time. She will also strictly suggest to you that the suggestion of keeping ginger out of the fridge is correct, where ginger moody inside the fridge with time ere she goes. Ginger can dry out if kept outside, but it does not lose its flavor and medicinal properties. Melons like watermelons and muskmelons are also quite hardy and can easily stay fresh for a long time without refrigeration. Of course, they taste best when slightly chilled, so you can keep them in the fridge for an hour before eating. Or go for the old methods where they were soaked in water before eating. It is also recommended to soak mangoes in water before eating them. Cucumbers rot quickly in the cold. Better to keep them outside. Eggplants also cannot stand cold, which makes them go soggy very quickly. It is also not the best idea to keep the bread in the fridge, because at low temperature, the water evaporates very quickly, and hence the bread will become dry and brittle. It is better to store bread in a tightly closed container or tie it tightly with a rubber band. Now let's talk about those food items, which are better to keep in the fridge. Most of us keep milk and milk products next to the fridge door, but this is not a good place to store them. As the door opens frequently, it fluctuates in temperature, which is not ideal for the shelf life of milk and milk products such as butter, curd, and paneer. They are best if kept at the back of the shelf of the fridge, which is relatively cool. Leafy vegetables will also stay fresh for longer if kept in the fridge. However, they tend to rot faster in the humid conditions of the fridge. So to increase their shelf life substantially, cut off their stems and store them either in paper bags or keep them in airtight containers lined with tissue paper. Cutting the stems slows their aging and tissue paper helps them dry. Similarly, to keep chilies fresh for a long time, take out their buds and wrap them in tissue paper and store them in an airtight container. Speaking of tomatoes, if they are not fully ripe, meaning they are still yellow, it is better to keep them out of the fridge. However, if they are fully red and juicy, refrigeration is preferable to increase their shelf life. Generally speaking, other vegetables like the gourd family, capsicum, cauliflower, carrot, cabbage, and beet will stay fresh longer when refrigerated. There are some food items on which your special attention goes. Bananas are one of them. They naturally emit high amounts of ethylene gas, which is why if another fruit or vegetable is kept with it, it ripens faster. So as a thumb rule, keep bananas aside. Bananas ripen faster if left unopened. If hung, bananas will remain fresh for a long time. Investing in banana hangers is a wise decision. Apple is another example of high ethylene emitting food. Keep them separately outside the fridge. Must be careful with mushrooms. They will rot faster if washed and kept on the counter. It's best to keep them in their plastic packaging in the fridge and just wash them with hot water before cooking. On the other hand, if kept in water, the carrot will remain crispy for a longer time. Then there are some food items that prefer darkness. Apart from the already discussed food items like oil, potato, onions, garlic, tea, coffee, and honey, light is the cause of hatred. All these lose their flavor and medicinal properties when exposed to light. Tea, coffee, and honey also absorb flavor from the environment, so they are best kept in an airtight container in a kitchen cupboard. Honey is very reactive, so it is best if it is stored in a glass jar. Opaque containers are best for tea and coffee. Now, before we end the video, let's quickly go through some golden rules of food storage. First of all, it is recommended not to use low-grade plastic poly bags for food storage as they allow ethylene gas to rot the food faster. Investing in breakable cotton or jute mesh bags will naturally extend the shelf life of most fruits and vegetables. Second, don't over-depend on the fridge. This is a convenience that comes at a cost, so buy fresh whenever possible. So these were some easy and practical methods to keep your food fresh for long. Of course, all the mentioned points are more relevant in warm weather as in the winter season. One can try to avoid frizz altogether. For your convenience, I have also attached a PDF of the same, which you can download and paste somewhere in the kitchen. If this video was useful, then give it a big thumbs up. So friends, that's all in this video. You can now support my work by clicking on the share button below. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell icon so that you never miss any video of mine. Thank you very much for watching the video till the end.